Good morning, students. Today we are starting with another topic, that is mineral deficiencies. Before that, before going to the main part of the topic, we need to understand what are the significance of minerals. Why, how it is significant to our body. So, minerals are responsible for energy production. Without energy, we can't do anything. So, minerals are responsible, some way responsible to provide energy for our body. And it helps to maintain the fluid balance. Fluid balance means what? And the solute and water balance in our body. In another way, we can say it as the amount of water lost from our body should be equal to the amount of water that we are taking in, or the amount of water availed to the body. That balance is very important for our healthy being. And also for maintaining that balance, also minerals play a significant role. For for maintaining the proper quality of blood and good bone development, in that also minerals are very necessary. For maintaining a healthy nervous system, for regulating our muscles, for all actions that we are doing every day, for all those actions, for regulating all those actions, minerals are very necessary. Sometimes there are also acts as coenzymes. What is coenzymes? Coenzymes are that factors that helps the enzymes to perform their function. So some minerals act as coenzymes. So we are taking the case of each minerals one by one. First is about the calcium deficiency. The daily requirement of calcium for children is in range of 800 milligram to 1.2 gram. When it comes to adult, there is no range, but the daily requirement is 800 gram. The main sources of calcium are milk, egg yolk, nuts, green and leafy vegetables, etc. etc. And for calcium absorption, vitamin D is very necessary. Without vitamin D, the proper absorption of calcium cannot takes place in our body. So there is some link between vitamin D and calcium absorption. If calcium deficiency happened in our body, that may lead to a condition called osteoporosis. Osteoporosis means weak bones that can be very easily broken. Fragile bones. These are the points about the calcium and calcium related deficiency conditions. Next we are going with the case of iron deficiency. And first, what is the significance of iron in our body? It is important for hemoglobin and myoglobin synthesis. And I am asking you, how iron is significant in the synthesis of hemoglobin and myoglobin? In our former chapter, that is in respiratory physiology, we have learned about the structure of hemoglobin in detail. And in that, where we found iron? Tell me, where we found iron? Porphyrin ring, right? Oh, that way. It is important. Iron is important for the synthesis of hemoglobin and myoglobin. Then also for maintaining a healthy immune system. For maintaining the immune system of our body also, iron plays a very significant role. So that is proven with my case, because as you all know, I have two children, and my younger child Arjun is often in his childhood, babyhood days, he used to develop fever frequently, and we used to approach many doctors. And one time we changed our pediatrician and approached a new doctor, and that time that doctor prescribed an iron tonic. After I gave that iron tonic to my boy, my Arjun, he developed his immunity. He develops immunity, and as a result, he didn't have any episodes, any spells of fever for a long while. So, for me, I am telling this now because you can memorize the significance of iron as a important factor in maintaining the immune system. If I link some real experience with science, then it's very easy for you to remember. So that's why I bring about the case of my son here. So iron is linked with immunity development. For healthy immune system, iron is very necessary. So next slide. The daily requirement of iron for an adult male is 15 milligram. In the case of females, that range falls between 13 to 18. Look here. The daily requirement of iron is more for females than male. And if the body is deficient of iron, that may lead to a condition called anemia. What is that? Anemia. Low iron content in body may lead to anemia. Next mineral is iodine. That also we all have learned and read in many textbooks in your lower classes also. The required amount for iodine in our body is per day, that value falls in the range 100 to 150 microgram. And the importance is that it is important for thyroid hormone production. So, important sources for iodine are seafoods and iodized salts. If we continuously depend on a diet that is low in iodine level, that may reduce the thyroid hormone secretion in body. For making the thyroid hormone level to the normal, the thyroid gland overwork. As a result, hypertrophy may happen to thyroid gland. The size of the thyroid gland may enlarge. This is the abnormal condition that may happen as a result of iodine deficiency. Thyroid hypertrophy. I think everybody have understand that. So we can go to next slide. Overnutrition. Overnutrition, we are very much familiar, and most of you are trying to reduce your body weight, fat became, or to looks exactly like some cinema actors or actresses, right? All are trying. Some few years back, people are not bothering about the figure, body size, but now and as a result of urbanization and development of livelihoods and all facilities, improvement of facilities, people's develop weight, people's gain weight in their body and looks much fatty. And now presently the trend is to become slim beauty, like Slim beauty girl, slim beauty for boys also, right? Not slim, but six pack, right? Okay, anyway, overnutrition. Overnutrition results in obesity. How he looks. Look here. Obesity and overweight. Overweight, when we call a person's weight is overweight or obesity, when his weight or his or her weight is 20% above the normal weight of a person, that weight of a man or woman is considered as an overweight condition or obese condition. So, ideal body weight is another term we need to understand here. What is ideal body weight? Ideal body weight is weight associated with the lowest morbidity and mortality. Morbidity means diseased condition. At what weight a man or woman can stay healthy without any diseases or without unexpected deaths? That particular weight is called the ideal body weight. Weight associated with the lowest morbidity and mortality. So, this is about overnutrition now. Next is lifestyle diseases. It is more in industrialized country with a long lifespan. Common lifestyle diseases are Alzheimer's disease. This is a lack of proper memory. Atherosclerosis means narrowing of blood vessels. Then asthma. Asthma we already learned in respiratory physiology chapter. Then cancer, chronic liver disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease also relating with the lungs. Type 2 diabetes. It means this is a condition which pancreas become unable to synthesize enough amount of insulin. Then what's the causes of lifestyle diseases? Because of industrialization, because of urbanization, and also because of globalization. These are the main cause. And also obesity and undernutrition also pave way for lifestyle diseases. Dental caries. Dental caries means if we consume more sugar, if we include more sugar in our diet, that may damage our teeth. That's called dental caries. Then counterfeit drugs. Counterfeit drugs means for developing a drug consists of so many ingredients, right? And that all the ingredients that is present in a drug should follow a proportion, should follow a amount with a particular amount for each ingredient for preparing a particular drug. But some companies are developing drugs with wrong proportions. And the patient who consume this drug with the wrong proportion may susceptible to more health problems and even may sometimes death may also happen. That is counterfeit drugs. What is counterfeit drugs? Drugs that is synthesized with the abnormal proportion of ingredients. Then next is dietary fiber. Fiber we know. What is the role of fiber in our body and food? It helps for facilitates proper defecation to smooth the stool passing process. Because example for dietary fibers are cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, pectin, etc. Then two types of dietary fibers are present. First is soluble fiber, which are present in fruits, vegetables, peas, beans, oats, etc. What is this specialty? Soluble fiber in the intestine, large intestine, it absorbs water and become a gelatinous substance. It makes our stool very soft to pass out. Understand? It makes our stool, our excreta, smooth to pass out. As the role of smooth fibers. Sorry, soluble fibers. And then other type is insoluble fiber that is present in bran, breads, vegetables. That's not soluble in water. Okay. Next regulation that we can take here in next section, next class. Anyway, with this we can finish today's class. Thank you.